Today we are going to talk about how to make and create content that gets found. I'm trying something different with my hair. Normally I have naturally curly hair. The last few videos I was asking you about my lipstick. Today I'm going to ask about my hair. I'm trying new things now I'm pregnant. Everything's going a bit weird. So I'm trying to see if I can look nice without being mumsy. Not that mumsy is a bad thing, but when the baby is born I'll only be 24. And I don't think 24 is old enough to surrender myself to mumsy yet. So the first thing you need to do to create searchable content and content that gets found is do your keyword research. What are people searching for? How do you do that, I hear you ask? Well, you use a Chrome extension that I like to use called Keyword Surfer. What you do with this is you download it and then it extends and you pop it onto Chrome. And then as you search for blog topics, you can see how many people are searching that particular topic. So if you were to search make money blogging, I know that 800 people searched for that in the last month. So I can write that down and be like, okay, that's good. And then you can use Google autofill to find out other variations of that particular keyword and phrase. So this keyword research is specifically designed to help you find out exactly what phrasing you should be using in your posts, titles, content, that kind of thing. So you need to be mimicking these exact same phrases to get found in that exact same search. So what questions do people have? What are they searching for? What are they Googling? You can also use something called Keywords Everywhere, which is another Chrome extension that works in conjunction with Keyword Surfer, and that tells you how many people have searched a particular topic, if a topic is trending, if it's a good one to get on board with, that kind of thing, and that's always useful. It is important to do trending content, but I'll get onto that later. So do the same for YouTube and Pinterest. So YouTube has its own autofill feature to make sure you know what people are searching for, what topics are trending and whatnot. And Pinterest also has the same feature. So when you are on Pinterest, you can search things in the top bar. It has autofill, but it also has the row of topics that come across the top for narrowed down niche suggestions. So use those topics for searchable content. Find out what people are searching for that way. What comes up in search results is usually what people are searching for. Reddit is a great tool to use to find what people are searching for, because more than likely people are going to go to a forum on Reddit and ask a question. So answer it for them. Go through Reddit with your niche and find out what people are asking and write down the questions, those exact phrases, because I find if I Google a question rather than an actual phrase, I usually get linked to a Reddit forum. So if you are providing the content that answers that question, you can start outranking that content. The important thing to note with your keyword research is, as you are trying to build your SEO and your trust with Google, is to compete with the less searched for terms. So something I like to advise my students in my Make Money Blogging course is start off by creating posts that are being searched by less than 500 people, then work your way up to between 500 and 1,000 people, and so on and so forth as you continue making content. If you beat people out on the smaller competing topics, then it will build trust with Google over time, improve your SEO, and you will be able to compete with people for the higher searched topics and key phrases. So that's a good way of building your SEO and a good way of utilizing your keyword research, and a better way to get found. Quora is also a good one. Quora uses a lot of questions and things. It's very similar to Reddit, so go on Quora, search a question in your niche and find out what people are asking. Look at high performing content. So when you do your Google searches, when you do your Pinterest searches, what's coming up first? What key phrases are being used? This is where your Keywords Everywhere tool comes in. Click on the top ranking posts in that topic that you've searched and find out what people are also searching for. It comes up on the side. You don't need to do anything fancy with it. Just make sure the plugin is activated and it will work. So it will come up on the side of your page what people are also searching for to make that post come up. So that is all the topics and keywords that that particular post is optimized for. If you only have the free version of Yoast SEO plugin for WordPress, which is what I recommend for beginners, then you need to republish a post with a different focus keyword. Keep the post exactly the same, but repurpose it and change out your focus keyword to make it optimized for all content. Use keywords everywhere to find out what's trending. Use YouTube, use Pinterest, use Google Analytics to find out what topics are trending. You can do this by finding out what's on your trending page. So if you are on YouTube, click on what's trending, search out what your niche is, and then have a look at the top performing posts. How can you do it better than them? Have a look at what they're doing, have a look at what they're not doing. How can you fill the gap in the market that will make your post rank higher? Do the same with blog posts. Pinterest, what's the first thing that comes up on the Pinterest page? Do it better than them, and that is how you get found. Trending topics is a little bit harder to cover because you do find it hard to put that gusto into stuff and be like, oh yay, trending topics. You kind of lose your heart for it. However, it's important to do this in order to create the searchable content to build the subscriber base that you need in order to make the content that you want to make. I need to pause for coffee. I've spoken without a breath for like 8 minutes. So the best way to do that is get on those trending pages, find out what's trending, and make your own version of that content. Look at the thumbnails, look at the images, look at the titles, look at the keywords that those particular posts are optimized for, and use them so you come up in the searches. It does seem like a lot of the work, but 20% of the time on content is spent on actually making the content. 80% of the time is spent promoting it and putting it out there. Images, tags, monetization. Can you tell the baby kept me up until 3 this morning? She's not even born yet. And she kept me awake until 3 a.m. And then Ethan gets up at 6 to go to work, and I always get up with him. So I'm like, hi. Thank God he got me a coffee machine for Christmas, which, yes, I opened early because it said Nespresso on the box and I was the one that picked it up from the post office. Like, maximize your content for SEO. So when you've done all your keyword research, you need to utilize that keyword research. It's not just all well and good creating that content. You have to then put in the work. So make sure everything has default tags, include keywords in the descriptions, include it in the title, include it in the body of text, include it in your Pinterest descriptions. Put those keywords everywhere and make sure your content is optimized for the search engine you're putting it on. So if it's a blog post, optimize it for Google. If it's a YouTube post, optimize it for YouTube. Find out what works for the particular platform you are on and optimize it for that. Put your efforts into promotion. So again, as I previously mentioned, it's the 80-20 split. 20% of your allocated time for that piece of content needs to be on creating the content. 80% needs to be on the rest, i.e. promotion, tags, images, putting it out there, getting it on social media, optimizing it for SEO, doing everything you can to make sure that content gets found, your keyword research, and planning a decent piece of content, making sure everything is optimized as you go. Filming takes me, I film about 4 or 5 videos a day when I sit down and film. That's why I look the same every week, because I film a batch film. Because that only takes me a day. And then I spend a few days on editing one video. Like, one video takes me a few hours to edit, and then I have about an hour spent on designing thumbnails and researching thumbnails and making sure my thumbnail sticks out. I do keyword research for particular topics, I put all the tags in. So one video, it might take me half an hour to film, but it takes me about 8 or 9 hours to produce. Same with blog posts, but once you get into the swing of things and making a decent living off it, you can spend about 10-12 hours a week and still make a full-time income. So It's just getting started that the hard bit is. Make sure you have clickable images and titles. That makes your content more interesting. We are visual beings as people, and I'm more likely to click on a thumbnail where I think the person looks nice and the aesthetic looks pretty than I am if it's just like a bloke in a garage. Like at the moment, yeah, I've got my Jack skeleton there and my bed, my spare bed. And then Alan and my Yankee Candle, but there's nothing really nice going on in the background, which is why I spend some time on thumbnails to kind of distract you from that. A lady I really like the thumbnails of, Amy Landino, does beautiful thumbnails. They're all branded and like neon and girl boss, and they're really good. So have a look at the thumbnails and images of high performing people in your niche and kind of add your own spin to it. And then the same with your clickable titles. Make sure your keyword or phrase is in the title, and sometimes you can rework the title. So with blog posts, you can republish a blog post with a different title and then have several like the same post maximized several times for different keywords or phrases. But with videos, it's a little bit different because you can't upload the same video every week under a different title. People will notice. So if a particular video isn't doing very well under one title, change it, see what happens, but make sure you have a different text in your thumbnail as you do in the title. So have your title as your title and then something enticing as the text in the thumbnail, because nobody wants to read the same thing twice. That's boring. So I hope you've learned a little bit on how to create content that gets found. My Make Money blogging course goes live on January the 1st, so make sure you are subscribed to be the first to hear about when it goes live. I will be posting the live video for it to premiere on January the 1st at 6 p.m. British time, for I live in the UK. It's GMT +1 apparently, and not GMT. I thought we were Greenwich Mean Time. Apparently we're Greenwich Mean Time +1, which is news to me. Which means Mary Poppins is a liar. But extra information is in that course for you to find out more. Essentially, that's what it's there for. So subscribe if you want to learn more on how to create amazing content, make money from home, and change your life, change your business, quit the 9 to 5, do all the magical stuff. Make sure you like this video, leave me a comment telling me your tips on how to create searchable content, or if you find this helpful, or any questions you may have. I like to answer my comments, so if you have a question that I didn't answer in the video, I will be happy to answer it for you, and I shall see you next week. I post every Friday. Bye.